Lumos Maxima. Lumos Maxima. Lumos Maxima.
Today, we grab our brooms and travel to the wizarding world of Harry Potter at Universal's Islands of Adventure to take a look at Harry Potter within the theme park world. We will also be looking into the history of Harry Potter and its cultural impact leading up to its theme park presence.
Dumbledore. Snape. Severus Snape. Snape. Severus Snape.
Considered one of the best theme park attractions ever created by both fans and the theme park industry, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, along with Hogsmeade Village, continued Universal's continued achievements in theming and technological advancements. However, this story starts way before Harry Potter came to a theme park. Back in 1990, while on a train from Manchester to London, a young author named J.K. Rowling came up with the idea for a novel about a young boy in a magical world that must fight an evil wizard. She said, "The idea for Harry Potter fell into my head. A scrawny little black-haired, bespectacled boy became more and more of a wizard to me." She would work on the story for the next 6 years and release Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on June 26, 1997 in the United Kingdom. The book would then release in the United States, published by Scholastic in September of 1998. The books were an instant hit and a battle for the film rights began. The Wizarding World's first brush with Disney would come when the studios were looking for the film rights. Eventually the rights would end up with Warner Brothers, since they were the only studio willing to allow J.K. Rowling full creative control. The initial deal made in 1999 would be for the films based on the first 4 books of the series. It would cost Warner Brothers $1.65 million to purchase. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, as it came to be known in the United States, would open on November 16, 2001 and become the highest grossing film of that year, making $974 million on its initial run. Between the film series and the rest of the book series continuing to release, Pottermania was in full force in the early 2000s. The first theme park presence for Harry Potter opened on December 26, 2001 in Queensland, Australia at Warner Brothers Movie World. The Harry Potter Movie Magic Experience was a walkthrough attraction recreating sets from the first film, including Platform 9 3/4, Diagon Alley, Ollivander's Wand Shop, and the Hogwarts Dormitory. The exhibit would be updated in 2002 in promotion of the Chamber of Secrets film being released that year. Updates included Mr. Weasley's flying car and the Acromantula Aragog with his spider children.
Oh no, it's Aragog, the giant spider. Oh, what are we going to do? And the spiders are coming down towards us.
The exhibit would end up closing in 2003. Meanwhile, Universal and Disney were both courting J.K. Rowling for the full theme park rights. Rowling would end up signing a letter of intent with Disney in 2004. Disney Imagineers would present Rowling with the idea of Harry Potter being placed within a small area of Fantasyland at the Magic Kingdom. This included a shooting attraction similar to Buzz Lightyear that had guests using wands instead of guns. The other attraction would be a petting zoo with magical creatures. Eventually, the deal between Disney and Rowling would fall apart due to Rowling's request for creative control and Disney's insistence of using outside brands within the land. Universal Creative would swoop in and grab the theme park rights, meeting with Rowling officially in 2005. After the Disney deal fell through, Universal worked directly with J.K. Rowling to develop the Wizarding World for Islands of Adventure starting in 2006, with an official announcement being made in 2007. Rowling would request that Universal bring on Stuart Craig and Alan Gilmore, the production designer and art director for the film series, to the project in order to bring more authenticity to the world of the films. The plan was to redevelop a piece of the Lost Continent section of Islands of Adventure. This section of the park was themed to ancient myths and legends, including Sinbad, Greek myths, and the medieval legends like Merlin. The area within the Lost Continent, Merlinwood, would be chosen for the redevelopment. A majority of this area would become Hogsmeade Village, based on its appearance in the films and description within the books. The shops within Hogsmeade would include Honeyduke's Sweet Shop, Dervis and Banges, and Zonko's Joke Shop. These shops would be small on the inside, to be authentic to the description in the books. 2 of the rides within Merlinwood would remain but be rethemed. Dueling Dragons roller coaster would be rethemed to the Dragon Challenge, while the Flying Unicorn would become Flight of the Hippogriff. The Enchanted Oak Tavern would be demolished and turned into the Three Broomsticks Restaurant and Hogshead Tavern. A new motion-based dark ride within the Hogwarts Castle would be the main focus of the land. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey would end up being a groundbreaking and innovative attraction similar to Universal's Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man within the same park. Terry Koo would act as the creative director for the project. He had previously worked on Universal's Spider-Man attraction, along with the Tomorrowland redesign at Disneyland in the 1990s. The attraction, which had a code name of Project Strongarm, would feature a state-of-the-art ride system. Dynamic Structures, along with German manufacturer KUKA, would develop the ride vehicle. First shown to the public at the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attraction Trade Show in 2003, the robotic arms would initially be mounted to a stationary platform. For the new attraction, the arms would be mounted to a track that can bring guests through different ride scenes. The vehicle capacity would also be updated from only 2 riders to a maximum of 4. Universal would sign an exclusive deal with Dynamic Structures to ensure that they were the only company able to use that ride system within their parks. The ride would mix screens along with physical sets, similar once again to the Spider-Man attraction. Unlike Spider-Man, the new attraction would use multiple parabolic screens instead of 1 screen per scene. The screens move in unison with the ride bench and are large enough that the edges cannot be seen when in front of them. The robotic arms would give guests the sensation of flying, while the system moves along slowly on the track below. The arm can freely dive, turn, and pivot each ride bench to sync up with the attraction's different screens and scenes. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson would return to reprise their roles from the films, along with Tom Felton, Michael Gambon, and Robbie Coltrane. The different scenes were filmed in England with the original actors while the last films were being completed. These scenes would then be projected using the Musion eyeliner system, similar to the Pepper's ghost effect in the Haunted Mansion. A thin piece of film is placed at a 45-degree angle with the projector below the film. This provides the illusion of the character standing in the space within the attraction. One of the most impressive effects in the ride's queue is the moving portraits. It is created by installing televisions in the wall, then placing a frame with a transparent material to give the look of brushstrokes on a painting. As guests enter Hogwarts Castle's dungeons and navigate through the queue, they walk past the Mirror of Erised, the statue of the One-Eyed Witch, and the greenhouse with mandrakes locked behind a screen. As they enter the Oxford Corridor, guests are greeted by the Architect of Hogwarts, the House Point's hourglasses, and the entrance to the headmaster's office. Dumbledore lets the Muggles know they are allowed into the castle to attend a lecture held by Professor Binns on the history of magic. Harry, Ron, and Hermione meet the guests in the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, and suggest that the guests watch a Quidditch match instead of going to the lecture. The Sorting Hat reminds the guests of the safety procedures as they enter the Room of Requirement. Using flue powder, the guests are transported to the Astronomy Tower to join Harry and Ron on their way to the Quidditch match, but things do not go smoothly.
Hey, you lot! Haven't seen a dragon, have you? Right, come on! We'll nip over to the Quidditch pitch! Hagrid! The dragon!
Some scenes within the attraction include a chase with a Hungarian horntail dragon. The video transitions to an animatronic dragon that shoots fog at you to simulate fire. The guests enter the Forbidden Forest and come up against Aragog and his children. The Acromantula spits venom at you, which is achieved by using water. Another Kuka robotic arm is used as one of the branches of the Whomping Willow as the ride bench avoids its swings.
Showing off your Muggle words.
The guests then enter the Chamber of Secrets, where Dementors are looking to steal their souls. The original idea was to have many more Dementors, but it was scaled back significantly after being determined to be too frightening. The faces of the guests are projected onto a mist screen to represent the Dementor's kiss, along with a blast of cold air. Harry leads the guests out of the cave as it collapses behind them. They make their way to the Great Hall and are greeted by characters from the film franchise. As you leave the attraction, you enter Filch's Emporium of Confiscated goods, where you can find merchandise from all over the Wizarding World. In total, the attraction lasts 4 minutes and 6 seconds. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter would officially open on June 18th, 2010. Guests lined up the night before for the grand opening, stretching all the way down and through City Walk. Once inside the park, guests could have wait up to 8 hours just to enter Hogsmeade Village. Reports have suggested it cost Universal $250 million to build the Wizarding World. Attendance at Universal Orlando rose as high as 36% after the opening of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. The Wizarding World would open at a few other locations all around the world. On July 15th, 2014, the new land would open at Universal Studios Japan, along with Hollywood on April 7th, 2016, and Universal Studios Beijing in 2021. Japan's Hogwarts has 2 additional features not found in the US parks: Hogwarts Black Lake and live owls living in the area. The Japan and Hollywood versions of the Forbidden Journey attraction were at one point presented in 3D, with guests wearing 3D goggles designed to look like the Quidditch goggles. However, the effect was eventually removed due to the number of guests getting motion sickness. While Hogsmeade was being designed and built, Universal Creative had planned for additional expansions in the future. One of those ideas was Diagon Alley. Originally, the expansion would be placed in the remaining area of the Lost Continent, with the expansion announced in 2011. Eventually, it was decided to build the new land over at the original park, Universal Studios Florida, in order to increase attendance at that park. The detailed story behind this expansion and its attractions we will save for another video. Diagon Alley would open to the public on July 8th, 2014. In 2017, Universal would close the Dragon Challenge in order to bring a new ride to the Hogsmeade section of the park. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure would open on June 13th, 2019. For years, another land expansion was heavily rumored within the theme park community. On July 31st, 2024, Universal would officially announce Ministry of Magic as the new Wizarding World expansion at their brand new park, Epic Universe. The new park is expected to open sometime in 2025. The new land brings you to the streets of Paris during the era of the Fantastic Beasts film, with the main attraction being a journey to the British Ministry of Magic to attend the trial of Dolores Umbridge. Even with the controversial views of J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter fandom continues to grow as the years pass. Excitement for more Wizarding World expansions is still at an all-time high. For any fan of the films or books, stepping into Hogsmeade and seeing the Hogwarts Express, walking through the stores, grabbing a butterbeer, then making your way to Hogwarts Castle is another level of happiness that is rarely felt in any other theme park setting. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Please leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments below what other topics you would like us to discuss next. And as always, keep on collecting!